left Dallas, we went to Alabama, Virginia, Atlanta, South Carolina, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and then into New York.
I mean, I'd heard that they'd been shipping them all over the country. That's true then? They're just like picking them up and just like everywhere?
Yeah, what it is, they done made these special camps to where we drop so many kids off in each camp.
Okay.
So when we went to Alabama, we might have dropped out. We started out with 47 kids and 3 government officials. We should took that precinct line easy.
Wait, so it's not...
What it is, we started out with 47 kids, and when we got to Alabama, we might have dropped off 3 or 4 kids in that camp. When we got to Virginia, we might have dropped off 6 kids. When we got to Atlanta, maybe 1 kid, like that. Once we got to Pennsylvania, New Jersey, we only had 4 kids on the bus. When we got to New York, we only had 1 kid. They just have them spread it out. And the youngest kid that was on the bus was like 8 years old by himself.
And did they have like supervisors? Like, did they have other adults to take care of them? Or are they just like, here you go?
No, it's just the older kids take care of the smaller kids. Because only somebody on the bus is the driver. And they have 3 government officials. And the rest of them is just the kids.
So 3 government officials split between 5 buses? Or on each bus?
3 government officials on each bus.
Okay. Well, I guess they're kind of watching out for them anyway. Were the camps that you took them to, were they like just pre-made facilities? Or I mean, what was that like?
Now, what it is, once we get them to the camp, they sit there and make sure, once we leave Dallas, they take our license plate number and our driver license number and all that. So each camp we stop at, before they let us into the facility, they have to check all that to make sure it's the same bus that the kids was on and the same driver.
Right, but I mean, like, what was the actual camp like? Like the word camp, like, that can mean so many different things.
Okay, the camp
is
like almost like a boot camp. You know what a
right,
boot camp is?
Right, so it's like, is this like, were these like existing like juvenile hall facilities or prisons or something, or are they just like, did they throw some barracks up?
Not so much as that. It's a camp where they go in, where it's almost like a juvenile hall facility, if you want to put it that way. Because once they get there, they take all their belongings. They all have on the same color. Maybe a gray outfit or black and white outfit. And then they have them in like a camp type style. Because once they get off the bus, they have to get off the bus and be in a formation. They call their name out. They have to go through so many changes. But before they go to their barracks or whatever, it's more like a barrack that they go in. I don't know if
it's just heartbreaking. It's just heartbreaking thinking little kids going through all that.
I mean, it's just like a prison because we have to go through so much just before we even drive the bus in there to let them off. And it's big walls with barbed wire fence around it, and they don't want us, once they'll brief us to where we can't have our phones out, we can't take pictures or anything. So it's crazy. And I done did so many of them. I done took kids from here all the way to Corpus Christi, from here all the way to Phoenix, Arizona. Yeah, I've seen so much with them kids. It's crazy. Some of them I just feel sorry for. The way they treat them, even though they come across the border, but still.
Yeah, well, it's just
they still kids.
There's no good answers, right? Because they can't just stay down there because they don't have the facilities down there to hold all these people, right? They couldn't build them long enough. They could set up tents, I guess, but that would be horrific.
Yeah.
and all the people are there and all the kids are there, and it's like, well, what are you supposed to do? Because
you'd be surprised how many camps they have across the United States full of rich kids, and that's the reason why they still coming across, because even though they in camps, they feel like they have a better life here than they do over there.
Yeah, I know. One of my friends is I guess they're called he's a DACA kid, right? Because his mom brought him over when he was real little, and he's just going through. It's absolute hell, right? But it's when you're coming from a place that's, how would I put it? Imagine what your life would have to be like for you to send your kids that are 8 years old, say, to like from here to like walk to Canada and cross the border there. Like, it's not because you don't love your kids. It's like because your situation is so bad that's literally the best choice that you have.
Best choice, yeah.
You know, and that's part of it. And another part of it is that because people with kids are able to get across the border easier. Well, if you're a drug runner or a smuggler or a gang member, what are you going to do? You're going to grab a kid and walk across. So like, there's all these missing kids in Mexico because they just get kidnapped to like go with the cartel members, right? Yeah. So it's like you don't have any good solutions. It's like so when a kid's coming across with an adult, it's like, well, we're not just going to assume that it's his dad because so many kids are being abducted and taken across, but then others are legitimately coming. So I don't know if it's like 50-50 or like 95-5 or I don't know what the ratio is, but that could be, if it's 99% legitimate, kids coming through because their families don't have any other options, and like 1%, or if it's the other way around, I don't know. Yeah. I know that one thing I can say for sure is that the situation is entirely messed up, but I don't know what the solutions are though.